At the same time, do you expect that if the Taliban does succeed in Afghanistan, you're going to have a country next door where women, for one thing, are not allowed to have an education after the age of 8, that you're going to have a country run by a group of terrorists, in effect?
But Judy, what are we supposed to do about it? I mean, here were the US for 2 decades in Afghanistan trying to force a military solution. The reason why we are in this position now is because the military solution failed. Now, what choices have we got? The best choice is that somehow we have a political settlement of Afghanistan where it is, as I repeat, an inclusive government. So Taliban sit down with the other side and they form an inclusive government. This is the best outcome. There is no other outcome because the military solution has failed.
Are you prepared to accept Taliban victory next door? You're saying, in essence, there's nothing more Pakistan can do.
Absolutely. There is nothing more we can do except push them as much as we can for a political settlement. That's all. But what happens in Afghanistan, we can only pray that the people of Afghanistan decide what government they want. And so we hope that that's what will happen in the end. They'll form some sort of an inclusive government. But that's for people of Afghanistan. As far as Pakistan is concerned, we have done what we can.
What relationship do you want now with the United States? You've said under no circumstances would you allow the U.S. to set up the CIA to have any sort of bases in Pakistan to support counterinsurgency. But are you saying no cooperation with the U.S. To fight terrorism? When
you say about U.S. having bases for counterterrorism, please let me make you understand this. When a country loses 70,000 people and is bankrupted by this war on terror, when we joined the U.S. After 9/11, we do not have the capacity to have any more fighting within our border, any terrorism within our country, because when we were in the height of that war on terror, which Pakistan joined, there were suicide bombs taking place all over the country. The businesses collapsed, tourism collapsed. So what we do not want to be is part of any conflict. Now, if there's a conflict going on in Afghanistan and there are bases in Pakistan, we then become targets. We will then become part of a conflict which we were in the last 15 years, and we do not want. We want to be partners in peace, but not in conflict.
So what sort of relationship do you want? What do you expect from the United States at this point? You're looking for a trading relationship. What is it that you want your relationship with the United States to be after this very fraught period of the last 20-plus years?
Well, Judy, the last relationship was transactional. Pakistan was more like a hired gun. The U.S. says that we paid you, gave you aid, and that's why you were fighting this so-called war on terror. Pakistan, on the other hand, felt that here was a country which had no need to be part of this war. It loses 70,000. I mean, which other country has lost 70,000 people fighting for someone else's war? So Pakistanis felt that here we were fighting US's war, our economy devastated, aid was minuscule compared to the amount of money we lost in the economy, and yet we were blamed for the failure in Afghanistan. This is the Pakistani point of view. Now, Pakistan's position is very straightforward. We want to help, and we have helped, getting the Taliban to talk to the US, got them on the dialogue table. We have done our bit. Now, what we cannot afford now, if there is civil war, what US wants is bases in Pakistan, if there's civil war in Afghanistan. So, but if there's civil war in Afghanistan, we will immediately get stuck into it. There will be terrorism within Pakistan. We do not want, apart from anything else, our country cannot afford it. We have just recovered from a desperate economic situation, and we do not want to